Lobster Hush Puppies. They're crispy, golden, and packed with juicy lobster meat and served with this awesome horseradish cream sauce. We're gonna kind of make a court bouillon. So we'll poach lobster tails in there. There we go. So we'll throw in some garlic, a little peppercorn. Let's get a touch of some salt. I got a lemon here. We'll wedge that. We'll get some lemon in there. About a half a cup of your favorite Sauvignon Blanc. And this is the kicker. Don't tell anybody. This is crab boil pack or a seafood boil. What do you have in here? A little mustard seed, little chili flake, little coriander. This is so nice because they already do it for you and you don't have to do the cheesecloth. And then all these little seeds don't get stuck into the lobster tail, okay? So we'll let that kind of sit in there, poach out a little bit. Awesome. So the boiling water, I've got some, I don't know, 6-ounce tails. Beautiful looking tails. I'll just give them a quick pop right in the center, like that, straight down. And this is gonna help me get some of that fantastic broth flavor right through the center. I'm not breaking them all the way open. All I'm gonna do is cook this meat just a little bit, pull them out, let them cool. Half the meat going into the hush puppy, the other half of the meat, well, that's the surprise. So these go down. Now, what's a hush puppy? Well, if you haven't had one, you've been missing something awesome, because a hush puppy is this fried, it's kind of like fried cornbread with a tremendous amount of flavor. So let's get into making this thing. So here's a big bowl to do it. First, we're gonna start with some cornmeal, about 2 cups. When I was a kid, we would go to this place and they'd make hush puppies and they were just cornmeal and eggs, maybe a little bit of salt. This year, we're gonna have some jalapenos, we're gonna have some red bell pepper, and more importantly, we're gonna have some lobster. Now, how would you really infuse that lobster flavor into this hush puppy? Well, of course, you'd put some of the lobster in there, but that's the big pieces. We're actually gonna take some of the lobster, cool it down, add a little buttermilk into a food processor or a blender, and use that and make like lobster milk, lobster buttermilk. Touch of salt. Let's get some flour into this. 3/4 of a cup. 2 teaspoons of baking powder. Touch of some black pepper. Give this a little whisk. Now, you got 2 options here. You can take the lobster tails, cook them all the way through, and then drop them into an ice bath and cool them that way. I think that tends to make them just a little bit, well, I'll say, makes them a little bit hard. They kind of seize up on you a bit. So what I like to do is when they get about 3/4 of the way done, there's still all that residual heat, then what I'll go ahead and do is pull them out and just throw them on a tray, cool down for a second, and then they'll be nice and room temperature, easy to work with, and they don't get real hard. Okay? This is all come together. Now you look at that and say, there's not nearly enough liquid for that. Don't worry. As soon as the lobster's done, goes with that buttermilk, mixes into this, it'll be fine. I've got my jalapenos and my red bell pepper ready to drop. I've got my poached lobster tails, so I'll take 2 of them. You get the big chunks of lobster in there, that's one thing. But where can you really get the depth of lobster all the way through? Here's the technique. A little bit of buttermilk. Break it all the way down. 3/4 of a cup of buttermilk. 2 full lobster tails, so about 12 ounces of lobster. Leave a little bit of chunk to it. There we go. Dump that in. So there you are, pureed lobster, but you talk about massive flavor throughout. I'm gonna rough chop these, don't wanna get too small. Remember, we're gonna fry these. I've got that oil going at 350 right now. Okay? We'll drop this right in. Okay? You want it kind of like, I don't know, donut dough. So, grab a little bit more buttermilk. Nice and tacky, just holding together. Bring it over, oil's at 350. Gotta make sure you keep an eye on it. There we go. Huh? Drop it. We're running a little bit hot, but it'll cool down in a second. There we go. So these hush puppies are gonna get this awesome horseradish cream sauce. Don't want to overdo it, don't need it overflowing, but these puff up. Look how nice. You see the size of the scoop and look how they puff up? That bicarbonate, a little bit of the baking powder really helps out. Okay? So let me work on that horseradish cream right now. This is a quick, simple, easy one that can go great with the prime rib, but it's really meant to go with the lobster hush puppies. 3/4 of a cup, half cup of sour cream, heavy cream, black pepper, touch of salt, and now the horseradish. Now this is prepared horseradish, not horseradish cream, so please keep an eye for that, because if you put the horseradish cream in here, it's really not gonna give you that big wow flavor that you're looking for. Mix that up. And we'll get a few chives in here. Nice little sparkle of the green. Drop those in. That right there is done, okay? A little salt to go down on these. A little bit of lemon juice. We're gonna try these delicious lobster hush puppies dipped into some horseradish cream sauce.